Hello everybody. Let me just get my chat up. Sorry. It's just a hot second. Hello. There we go. Okie dokie. So this is Kane Pixel's new video. So sorry, I'm kind of sick right now, so yeah, so I got alerted to this on the Discord, link in the description if you want to go see that. But yeah, Kane Pixels, almost at 2 million subscribers. I don't know why I'm not subscribed already. Almost at 2 million subscribers. He makes these Backrooms videos. Look at all those Backrooms videos. That's cool. And yeah, if you don't know, I'm making a Backrooms in Minecraft, so when I saw damage control come out, I knew I had to look at it. First, let's look. Okay. That's a cool little infographic. Okay. So he's doing like motion capture. That's fun. Yeah, that's funny. What's 36? Interesting. Okay. Don't move, stay still. Yeah. Oh yeah, bacteria. This is the bacteria monster. That's how we know that this is a bacteria. Gallery. Interesting. I do have a hole in the wall. I don't know if that's a painting though. Project system test. Point extraction, async. Huh. Ko-fi. Interesting. Okay. Oh, it's just a playlist. Okay, yeah, but it doesn't seem like there's any hidden videos. That's sort of what I'm looking for. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through this. I'm going to pause every once in a while, do this game theory style, film theory style, and just check it. Okay, so I've already seen this video, so I'm going to be pointing out a couple of things. Not quite sure what this is. Maybe it's like a thermometer or like a clock of some kind. I see the numbers. It's around a dial, which makes me think clock, but it only goes up to what looks like 10 or something like that. So it wouldn't make sense. And then this red line makes me think thermometer. So I have to wait for the film theory video on this one.
Hey, do you read us? 18, this is Mark. I read you. What is it? We need immediate arms support in room 14C. That's you now again.
This audio is really difficult to figure out, so I'm just going to restart this and see if I can figure it out. Actually. Oh. Well, closed captions. Duh.
Mark, this is Team A. Do you read us? 18, this is Mark. I read you. What is it? We need immediate arms support in room 14C. That's you now being held at gunpoint by a hostile. I repeat, please send immediate arms support to room 14C of your control.
Oh, okay. So that's the scene from this one of his last videos. Let me open this up. Hey, this is me. That's from, I think it's from no, it's from Reunion. It's the audio from the scene back here. Viewer discretion is advised. There is weaponry and death in this section.
Oh my god!
Hey guys! He's got my gun! He's got my gun! He's got my gun!
Don't move! Never you move! Okay, okay.
I think it's from this.
I don't want to hurt any of you. But I will. If I have to, so please, just answer my questions and I'll be gone. How many people are out here right now? Down the hall, how many people are out here?
I don't know.
Peter?
Oh shit.
Marv? Marvin?
Yes, it's me. Is it really you?
Yeah, it's me. It's me.
How? It's been months. We thought you...
I know. I know that's what they did. They took my life from me, Marv. Everyone thinks I'm fucking dead. My wife and children think I'm dead.
Yeah, okay, so I think it's from that. I think it's from that video because he's saying, like, he's got my gun, like, come extract us. Like, why is he here? Stuff like that. I think that's why.
For that panel,
I'm not sure if this is important, but this guy kind of looks green. I'm guessing that's just, like, light stuff happening, or, like, weird stuff. But he's green, which I find funny. Okay, so gunshot.
for that panel, it should connect.
But I don't think that was the gunshot. The other gunshot, I mean, the other time that we heard the shot, we were quite close to it. So it could obviously have been louder, but it sounds more abrupt.
What was that?
Alright, so I believe what we're looking at is the aftermath of Reunion. This, just looking at these wall pillar patterns, it looks like the room from the very first video. I'll pull that one up as well. It looks like the room from the very first video. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he's put them in order. Oh, that's useful. Okay. He set up a timeline. That's nice. So, where's found footage? Found footage. It looks like the room that this guy runs through when being chased by bacteria. There's bacteria. Oh, no, it's before this. He doesn't clip. It looks like, just looking at the wall patterns, it looks like, not this. Ooh, that's interesting though. Oh yeah, I want to make this. I want to make that room. That's a cool room. I gotta put that down somewhere. Alright, so there's like a staircase. Yes, it look. Now that I look at this room again, the walls are kind of like thinner, but they do have the same vibe, right? They have the same vibe as the other ones, so. Just like the 4 off spurts to the sides. Just something I noticed. That railing's interesting. Not sure if that means anything. Also, there's a bunch of like boxes, just like wall pillars. It's kind of weird. This is an async station, as you can see the electronics that are lying on the ground. Now we're in the security camera section. So that man over there, he doesn't look like he has a hazmat suit on. So I think it's the Mark, I think his name was. Yeah, it is. So he runs in, because he has the weapon. So he runs in here, holds all the other async, a bunch of the async people hostage. I like the shadow work on him. I just wanted to point that out. His shadow really adds to the composition of this image. I want to make a part of my backrooms that's like laboratory stuff. So he runs through the hallways. He's going to be chased, I'm pretty sure. There he goes. Sanic. Was there anything in that? Just static makes me suspicious. Let's go check through this frame by frame. Okay. That could just be like camera footage. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be anything. Not like that's my favorite part. He goes the wrong direction. That's really good. Chasing after him. He's escapes through an elevator.
I'd like to thank you all once again for your patience on this.
It's kind of hard to hear what he says, but I have closed captions on, so I'm just going to be a bit quieter during this section.
It has been a stressful 15 hours for all of us here, and while he cannot currently be with us, Dr. Beck sends his apologies regarding the numerous inconveniences caused by our decision to keep you here overnight. Now, it appears that the situation has reached a point of some stability. We're still looking into a few things, but I feel that we can now properly address what occurred without running into speculation. What happened last night should not have happened. Not here, not with us.
This is an interesting section because it's just a lot of words. I'm not sure if the pictures match up or anything. I think it's just pictures of the sky throughout the entire
What
thing.
occurred was a gross misunderstanding that was the result of some severe information mismanagement.
So this is going to be mentioning the stuff that we learned in Reunion and uploads before. I forget what upload he disappeared in, but so a storyline that we've been following with this found footage stuff recently is this guy who just disappeared in the back rooms and we didn't know what happened to him. Turns out he went forward in time. We got like the body cam footage of him, which I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing soon. And we also got he got into the async laboratory and then something happened and he left. Everybody thought he was dead, and so they staged a car crash at a vineyard, I believe, and to make everybody think he's dead. So everybody thinks he's dead, so they're not quite sure what to do when he just shows back up.
Even now, I believe most of you still have
That's what this like press conference is about.
an incomplete idea of what took place last night. So before I fill you in, I need to address the fact that there has been information deliberately withheld from many of you on the project. Now, these choices were not made lightly and were done for only the best.
When I was watching through this first section, I was a bit confused because the ceiling, I think this is in the back rooms just by looking at the ceiling tiles, but the lights are a bit too small. So I'm not quite sure where this is. It could definitely be in the back rooms. It's giving me a back rooms vibe, but it's really white. So it could be an async part of the back rooms or just a regular async facility. I'm not quite sure.
Of reasons. However, I want to make it abundantly clear that following the events of last night, it has been proven to us that that method of conducting ourselves was not viable.
But like that window tiling over there makes me think of like a jail or like a prison of some kind. It feels like really reinforced. So something where like, I'm guessing this is the back rooms just by the window pattern.
So I'm coming to you now to correct this mistake and
Because the back rooms is very dangerous. That's my reason.
begin delivering the authentic order of events as we understand them. On the morning of March 1st, a team of 4 researchers was sent into the complex
So we've already seen all this footage in an earlier upload. So
to conduct a routine layout analysis. George Levy, Marvin Lee, Ronald McCarthy, and Peter Tennant.
right, Peter Tension's the person who goes. He's gonna disappear.
At around 12:25 p.m., the group realized that they had lost track of Tench while traversing a previously accessed branch of hallways. As you'll recall, this prompted an immediate withdrawal of response back to standard, followed by several days of significant search efforts. However, those ultimately yielded nothing, and as far as any of us were concerned, Tench had simply vanished, leaving no physical trace.
Which is true. He went forward.
Now, for obvious reasons, that wasn't something that we could disclose to the public. So, roughly 2 weeks following his disappearance, our security team was forced to put together a more acceptable cause of death that would keep attention away from this institute and provide closure to the family. So, that is all close to common knowledge, I presume. Not all of you were with us at the time of the incident. However, you're certainly aware of the effects it has had on our internal procedures over the past few months. Regardless, that was where Tench's involvement in this came to an end. Or, at least, that's what we assumed. Because on May 8th, at approximately 5:30 p.m., a motion alert was sent out from the complex, which was closed off at the time. One of our senior engineers was sent down to assess the situation,
and discovered a male dressed in hazard gear who we were able to identify as Peter Tench.
We know this.
Immediately following this discovery, Tench was moved to a secure room on this floor where, over the following days, a select group of doctors were able to administer a panel of tests in order to determine what had happened to Peter.
So basically, if you're a little lost, so Peter Tench disappears and travels forward in time, finds the async laboratory, is like, what is this? Activates a motion sensor. I think it was actually during a time where async was trying to sign like a contract with like a government agency or something to get their the backrooms like monetized. I don't know. So Peter Tench comes in, activates a motion detector. We didn't know this, but the scientists found him and took him back to a lab and just started experimenting on it to see what the heck happened, which is not good for anyone's mental health, and you'll see that soon here.
Peter and the 2 months he'd been gone. Those tests yielded very little useful information. By all measures, Peter appeared to be in excellent health. However, we were still provided one very useful tool in understanding how the situation unfolded from his perspective. Some of you may recall that on the day of his disappearance, Tench was his team's designated camera operator. Well, when we recovered him, he still had that camera in his possession, and in fact had documented the entire ordeal. The footage will be presented in its entirety later today. However, for the purpose of this discussion,
We already have that footage, so I'm not sure where we got that footage from, but we already have it. Oh, oops, muted it.
this is the hallway where Peter was last seen.
This is the footage.
They're not in view, but you can hear the others walking behind him. Now, as he approaches the bench on the right here, pay close attention to the audio.
This is. That's actually like a hint to us. We should play close attention to this audio, and I think we already have. But maybe Kane Pixels is telling us that there's some more information to be gathered here. I'm not quite sure. Sorry, hold on. Okay, let's listen to the audio.
Here, pay close attention
I'll explain it after this little bit's over.
to the audio.
Guys, can you hear this? Guys, can you hear this? Hey.
Alright, so it sounds like it's a party of some kind, and it stops right as he goes forward in time. So I'm not sure if it's this or something later on, but we have traced audio in the backrooms to times either before or after, mostly after, that video in the backrooms was filmed. So audio was leaking through the backrooms. This guy just clipped through time, I guess, is vocab we could use.
Now, I'd like to save the discussion for afterwards, but what you just saw is what we believe to be the moment that Peter was instantaneously transported 2 months forward in time. Following that abrupt flash you just saw, Tench proceeds back out to the hallway in search of his team, but is without any indication of their presence. The next 30 or so minutes of the tape follow a fairly panicked Tench as he attempts to navigate his way back to the threshold.
It's interesting that it's
He does
30
honestly
minutes
find
long.
his
I
way
don't
back.
think we have 30 minutes of footage, but there's a little thing I picked up.
However, the threshold appears not as he knows it, but as it appeared on the date of May 8th.
This is when it starts going down.
And
that's when
this
he
ties
activates
us
the
back
motion
to the moment when we recovered him. So, to summarize, from his point of view, he had only been inside the complex for several hours. So to him, all of the new developments surrounding the threshold were completely foreign. Luckily,
I think we've heard them call it the complex before, but it's just an interesting fact I've been picking up.
though, as I already mentioned, there were people available to manage
Instead of
the
time.
situation as it unfolded. And over the course of the following days, we were able to properly sit down with Peter and work with him to gain a collective understanding of what had happened. However, there
Okay, so that section right there, I just noticed it. I didn't notice this the first time I went through. What is this? Is this like electricity? There seems to be wires. Is it like C4s attached to the walls? Or like the ground seems to be laid out with tape.
And work with him to gain a
Don't know
collective
what those
understanding of what had
are.
happened.
Monitoring devices of some kind? Actually, this might be the area where he disappeared. Yeah, I think this is. So they're monitoring it to see what happened. That would make sense.
However, there was still the very significant fact that Mr. Tench was considered legally deceased as a result of the cover story, and reversing that would be no easy feat. He understood this and was willing to cooperate while we looked for a way to reintegrate him without raising suspicion. Unfortunately, though, that process ended up taking quite a bit longer than we had anticipated. And all the while, Peter was sucked out here, waiting idly by. We did our best to keep him.
That red thing, it's clear it's important because it's in a room full of white. Same with the blue behind it. But my eyes are just drawn to it, and I don't think Kane is really good at video. I don't think he would do that by accident. So,
But
I can't tell for the life of me what that is.
Deprivation on the human brain, and as a result, Peter's mental state took a toll. Not to a degree that was outright concerning at first, but around the end of week 2, we noticed that he was starting to exhibit a number of behaviors common in patients diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia.
So he goes insane, develops schizophrenia, and then leaves.
Though we don't have reason to believe that Mr. Tench was afflicted with that condition. Whatever the case, while he didn't express it outright, from what we could gather, he appeared to have...
Maybe this is like a Last of Us situation, and like the bacteria or like fungus is like infecting his mind, making him think of things that aren't true.
deluded himself into believing that he was still inside some sort of illusion created by the complex, and that we were secretly looking to do him harm. Came to a head on the night of the 22nd, when, while Tench was finally about to be transferred to a temporary above-ground residence, he broke away from us and, using stolen credentials, forced his way back into the complex, where he would go undiscovered until just last night.
So he hides in the back rooms, and then a reunion happens, he gets a gun, and then he leaves through the service
leaving
room.
Dr. Bloom in critical condition.
Shoots Dr. Bloom.
We can presume that during the 2 or so days Tench spent in the complex, he let go of the idea that he could somehow escape through an alternate threshold, but still held on to the belief that all of us here were working to trap him in some way, despite our actions saying exactly the opposite. Immediately after firing a single shot from the Remington 870 to Dr. Bloom's side, Tench fled the scene and headed to the threshold outpost.
This man is what we like to call an unreliable narrator, and I feel like this is going to become evident very soon, but when he says, like, he still thinks that we're trying to keep him here, but that's, like, not true at all, that's not something we can take their word for, right? They could easily be trying to trap him there. We don't know. And there's something else later on in the video that I'm also quite skeptical about that he says.
Where he would turn the weapon on several more of you while progressing into standard and through the lower offices. Given the abrupt and chaotic nature of the unfolding situation, it took our security team several moments longer than it ideally should have to figure out what was happening. But thankfully, while Tench was passing through one of the empty labs next to storage, Dr. Maxwell was able to act quickly and managed to disarm him, accidentally discharging the weapon into the ceiling in the process.
So that's something I'm also skeptical about, because why would they mention that he discharges it into the ceiling? My thought is they were trying to kill him, and he missed, and they had to get a cover story for that. That's my thought. I could very much be wrong, though, but
however,
it's just weird that they would mention that he discharged it into the ceiling. I don't understand why that'd be something
Tench still managed
important to say.
to avoid apprehension, fleeing into the maintenance wing and evading our security staff by taking the freight elevator.
Especially because it doesn't seem, this seems like there's only 2 people following him, when we know two people started chasing him, and then he ran past the service place and disarmed the gun. It doesn't add up.
Surface. Now, this situation could have played out very badly given the potential number of witnesses around the building at the time. But luckily for everyone involved, as far as we can tell, Tinch was not noticed as he exited the property. Around
That's also kind of suspicious.
5
This entire section, I just don't believe anything this man's saying. It makes Async look good.
minutes later, our security team made it to the ground floor and began a thorough sweep in the direction of the hillside where cameras had last observed Tinch.
Also, highly doubt that it took them 5 minutes to get up to the floor.
Now,
It doesn't make sense, unless they're like super far underground.
there's no easy way to say this other than to just say it. I am terribly sorry to inform you all, but Mr. Tinch was found deceased halfway down the hillside.
That is very, very suspicious. I do not believe for a single second that Async found him dead just at the bottom of a hillside. He just accidentally like tripped on a rock and hit his head too hard and then just dies. No, I don't believe that for a single second. Async must have either A, done something and killed him, or B, apprehended him, didn't want anybody to figure it out, and then faked his death again. It's one of those two things. There's no shot that he actually just fell and died. That's not the end to his character. That doesn't make sense at all.
The result of an extreme blow to the head.
I do believe that they might have hit him, but I feel like he might have just been shot. Because the weapon discharged into the ceiling, I feel like he was shot.
It appears that while he was running through some brush, he failed to anticipate a sudden dip in the ground and tragically fell forward into a large rock.
Nobody ever says tragically when they're not trying to hide something.
Given the circumstances, it was not something any of us could have anticipated.
Also, they're not showing us his body. So, I doubt. I seriously doubt.
Or prevented. The tragedy of the entire situation undoubtedly
That could either be because he isn't dead or because he was shot, and that'd be like a clear thing to see.
remains. But Dr. Tench, regardless of how
If the wind is right, you can sail away. Interesting.
troubled he was in his final days, was a brilliant man who gave his all to this project. He would certainly not want us hindering it in his name. What we're doing here is so much bigger than any one person.
Why is that man there standing still? I don't.
It is the work of a unified effort, and we need to ensure that that is never lost sight of. That we hold on to the pre-established notion that Peter is and has been deceased. That is done, and there is nothing more to be extracted.
Oh. Oh.
There is nothing more to be extracted.
I don't believe any of this for a second. And why do they stop on this needle? Maybe because he said extracted. Maybe to take his blood? Is that the fungus monster? Oh. Okay, so green room, interesting. Sitting around a table. Whatever that is. They hold on that for two frames. Interesting. Girl running a camera. It's the same thing. It's the same picture, but under purple. Running again. City street. And they hold on that for a while. And then they hold on that man. Interesting. Okay. So the green room makes me think the green room from the Pitfalls video. But it also being under the purple light is a bit suspicious to me. So I'm not sure. Somebody pay attention to that audio. I don't know what that is, but I feel like it's got to be important, right? This is suspenseful. Okay. Sorry, film theory. I'm not gonna pay attention to that. Okay, so no hidden videos. No nothing. Okay, well, that is the Backrooms video. So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next stream.